Hope y'all still are enjoying and not crying just because I've talked too much. But yeah, we'll start off with the DXY like I always do. Go into the weekly first. Go through the weekly bias. So if you look at the weekly, and this is the weekly time frame, you can see that we have made a macro market structure shift right here. You can annotate it this way, but I'll not have it annotated just because it will sort of destroy the looks. I like it clean. You can see that I've talked about that we reacted with this algorithmic order block right here, and also a volume imbalance or liquidity gap, whatever you want to call it. And then we pushed down, left this consolidation right here. I think we're gonna reach for this fair value gap. So this fair value gap, you can actually have it annotated, or you can just have it the top, the consequential encroachment, or the bottom annotated as the drawn liquidity. But I think we're gonna reach for, if you look at this. So I'll actually have this as my weekly. Well, I'll actually do this. So I have this annotated as my weekly drawn liquidity. So I'll have this like this, and you can see that it perfectly aligns with the 25% mark of this, or 75% mark of this fair value gap right here. So I think we're gonna reach for this sell side, and this is gonna be my weekly drawn liquidity. And yeah, we are bearish on the weekly as well. So wait, really sorry for that. Going into the daily, you can see that of course we are also bearish, continuing down. And you can see that maybe we are also bearish on the 4 hour and 1 hour, which would actually be extra good. But like, I would prefer that we trade up, retrace a bit into sort of a premium, and then we continue down. That way we'll get sort of better RR trades. And maybe because like when we sort of trade down, we often, or when the market just dumps, or the DXY dumps, like then EU trades up. But like then often we'll get sort of really bad price action. We'll get some days no, I'm bearish, fully bearish. But I would want to see like this would be my perfect scenario, like a retracement up into a premium and then continue down. But I don't think it will actually occur. Like, I don't think we will retrace upwards. I think we're just gonna continue down, reach for this draw liquidity. But as you might have noticed, the past weeks, we have just dumped with the market. So those days we have not had big news. We have just consolidated, and when we got the news, it would be bearish news, and it would just continue down, which is actually really bad because on those news days we don't trade. But you can see that we are really bearish. We didn't even retrace into this big fair value that we have here. So yeah, we're just bearish on the daily. That's just in simple terms. And this is my weekly drawn liquidity. So like, I want to see an expansion to the downside, and I want to see price take out this sell side right here. And this is also a weekly fair value gap, as you saw, and this is perfectly aligned with 75% mark of this fair value gap, which is just really good. And you can also see that we are reacted sort of with this order block right here. I'll not have this annotated just because I really don't like having order blocks annotated. I really don't use order blocks so much. But yeah, so daily is bearish. So going into the 4 hour, you can see that we are bearish. Pretty simple, really good. But I would want to see, like I said, I want to see price. Like, this is not what will happen most. Like, this is not like the most probable outcome. I think just the market will continue down and taking this drawn liquidity right here, which is actually matching up with the fair value gap and 75% mark. But yeah, you can see that we are bearish with this market structure shift right here. and we may be on the daily time frame, like on Monday, we may be reaching for this sell side. So just have that annotated. But yeah, you can also see this volume imbalance or liquidity gap, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, you can see that market took out this buy side and then just continue down with the in confluence with the high time frame biases. Like I said, we would be bearish on the DXY. And you can also see that the 1 hour is bearish. So most likely tomorrow we're gonna see market take out the sell side liquidity right here and just continue down, most likely. But like I said, like for me, like going into tomorrow, I would like to see the Asia session be bullish, going into a premium on a 4 hour premium, and then maybe we can find some good sells targeting this sell side and targeting my weekly drawn liquidity. That would just give us, and of course, like I'll get into, this is the DXY, so you can't trade it, but like if you take this in reverse, you'll see that on the DXY correlation, you can see that it plays out more or less perfectly upside down. This will be the EU chart. But yeah, we'll just go into EU right now. So like I said, going into next week, I am bearish. Okay, so going into EU right now, and of course if you have any questions, just leave them, and I'll of course talk about market relations and DXY correlation later, but I just need to cover the biases first, and then I can talk about expectations. And this is really the most important chart. So you can see here that we are bullish on the weekly. The last weeks we have been bullish, and like I said, where is the fair value gap? Yeah, we took out this fair value gap, and this is, you can go back and watch, like I talked about it, that we would reach for this. We're just climbing higher. I think we're gonna continue higher, but yeah, maybe we'll reach for this. This is also if we go over to the DXY. So this maybe is going to be my drawn liquidity for the weekly time frame. Like maybe he wants to go in here and take out this buy side right here, reach for the 50% mark, and then continue down. And this is sort of on a high time frame, so we'll see this maybe play out this week or next week, but we'll see. And this is just pure speculations, okay? Okay, so we'll see what happens, and I'll talk about this buy side, so you can also have that annotated, and that sort of aligns with the 25% mark of the fair value gap. So just annotate that as sort of the weekly drawn liquidity or the buy side liquidity. But yeah, you can see that we took out this buy side as well on the daily time frame, and you can also have this sort of fair value gap annotated, but I think we're gonna use this as an inverse fair value gap just because we are bullish on the daily as well. So you can see with this change of character, and this is the real market structure shift. I'll say market structure shift, but like change of character is more or less the same thing. Here you have the macro market structure shift, breakout structure, and breakout structure, and here you have sort of the real market structure shift. And then I think we're going to see a breakout structure to the upside here during the next week. It all depends on what the DXY is saying, but like right now I am bullish just because the DXY is really bearish, and so I want to see high prices. But it actually would be good if we retrace this a bit, so we can find some really good buys in a discount. But I'll talk about that when we go into the 4 hour. But yeah, so I think we're gonna reach for high prices, take out this buy side, continue up. But it would be nice if we went into a 4 hour discount. And you can see that we are bullish on the daily as well. So weekly bullish, daily bullish on the EU. Going into the 4 hour. you can see that we are also bullish with this sort of, like I talked about, this was a macro structure shift when we, and I'll talk about what classifies a macro structure shift later in another sort of trading talk. But yeah, I talked about that, and I said be careful because maybe this is not liquidity sweep, just because we're bullish. So like maybe some of you guys got trapped right here and wanted to see lower prices just because this was a 4-hour change of character right here, and then you saw this, took out this buy side, and then you wanted it to continue down, taking this as your take profit. But yeah, I saw this sort of as a macro market structure shift just because the high time frames was bullish, and then we made a breaker structure right here on the 4-hour. So I think we're gonna overall make this daily breaker structure, not tomorrow, hopefully. Like I wanted to see maybe a retracement down into this 4-hour fair value gap right here, and then maybe you can search for some good buying opportunities. But like I wanted to go into discount. So yeah, I wanted to go down here. That would be really good actually. But yeah, otherwise we'll just continue. So yeah, we are bullish. You can annotate this breaker structure or this macro market structure. But otherwise we'll just go into the 1-hour time frame, which we are also bullish, and going into tomorrow, like we're gonna see some choppy price action on Asia session. I think maybe down, so it will most likely take this sell side right here, continue down, hopefully into discount, so we can find some good buys. So hopefully we'll get some good buys right here tomorrow for the premium, which I will actually be doing live. So I will do a sort of live talk during the London kill zone. But yeah, otherwise we'll just go into AU. So I'm expecting high prices overall. That's sort of simplified. So going into next week, I want to maybe see this. This is sort of my draw, my weekly draw, you can say. And I wanted to reach into this weekly fair value gap. Yeah, I'm just reading what you guys said. Like I'm really dyslexic. That's why it takes so long for me to read what you all are saying. Oh, you have school. Oh, no pizza. For real, that's sad. But yeah, I will just continue. Like people are waiting. I can't just look for. But it's really funny talking to you all. So you can see that we got some really choppy price action when the DXY consolidated on AU. Hopefully right now we're gonna get some good price action going into next week, and I'm thinking we're gonna reach for like if you compare this with market sort of relations. So if you compare AU to EU, you can see that AU has actually been sort of the sixth sister of the. If you compare this to GU, GBP USD, and Euro USD, you can see that AU has been lacking behind. It has not been as bullish, and that's partially because their fundamental news, their monetary policy, you can see it pushed down sort of into a deep weekly or daily discount, and then it continued up, and it actually reacted with a fair value gap right here on a lower time frame. Of course, you cannot see it on a higher time frame, but I think going into this week we're going to reach for this fair value gap right here. So just have that weekly fair value gap annotated right here, and maybe it's gonna reach for high prices, but I think maybe it will just consolidate around here, just because it has been sort of much more bearish overall, or it has had a much more bearish sentiment overall. But yeah, otherwise we'll just go into the daily time frame. So you can see that we are on the daily time frame. We are also bullish. I'd say the weekly sort of is more or less neutral, but the daily is bullish, as you see. Yeah, it's more or less reacted with this algorithmic order block right here. Maybe the 50% or 75% mark of this order block. I'm really sorry. But yeah, you can see overall we are bullish on the daily as well. We have had some choppy price action, but hopefully this week we'll get some good. And you can also add good price action. You can also annotate this daily fair value gap right here, and also this buy side, which I will actually have as my drawn liquidity for the week, just because, like I talked about, AU has been lacking behind. So I think AU, if you compare it to EU, will actually be the worst market, like more or less the market lacking behind. So this will be my more or less daily drawn liquidity. Yeah, I totally agree. But you can also annotate this fair value gap right here, and this is also relative equal highs. And also annotate this fair value gap right here. I'm not gonna annotate it. I usually don't have any annotations at all, but like I just do this for y'all to understand. So going into 4 hour, you can see that we consolidated really much here, and we also made this. Where's it? Yeah, you can see this market structure shift, macro market structure shift right here, and then we made. Did we even made? No, we didn't even close above this. So yeah, but overall I think we're going to be bullish going into next week. We may be going to have a retracement into sort of this fair value gap, and that's more or less the most likely option. So I'm thinking more or less that we're going to do this, going into this for our fair value gap in discounts, and then continue up taking this. So I'm thinking more or less this, but we'll see what happens. I'll have this annotated as well. Going into the 1 hour, you'll also see that we are bullish. No, we're actually bearish. So yeah, you can have this annotated as well if you want. I'll have this annotated. So weekly, we're more or less neutral. Daily, we're bullish. 4 hour, we're bullish. And the 1 hour, we're bearish. But I think we're going to retrace down here. But I'll cover the news. Okay, we'll say Monday is really good. Tuesday is also really good. We just have SB, consumer confidence. I don't like, this is not really dangerous news. So, and that's actually why I think Monday is going to be the best trading day. Just because on Tuesday we don't have any high impact news. We have some FOMC, but like that's sort of mediocre. FOMC is not sort of really big. But yeah. Otherwise, yeah, Monday, Tuesday I'll trade. Wednesday I'll actually, we'll see, maybe, okay, Wednesday we'll see actually if I trade. Like if some crazy thing happen with the Euro CPI release, and we also have CPI for year on year for AUD. So maybe Wednesday I'll sit on my hands. Depends on if the market gives us a good strategy or good model. If I see sort of an A+ model playing out. Tuesday, OPEC. Okay. Maybe we'll sit on our hands on Tuesday as well, just because OPEC can cause anything, like for real. The oil prices maybe will change something in the DXY, and the DXY will sort of change something in the whole market with the DXY correlation. So maybe we want to sit on our hands on Tuesday, but on Friday, okay, on Friday, now Paul will speak, for real. Okay, yeah, this really makes me sad. Like, why does he always need to speak on 1 day a week? Like, yeah, but otherwise, yeah. So maybe Tuesday we'll trade, but Wednesday, maybe we'll also trade. Like I'm not giving you all a concrete answer right now. We'll see actually on Wednesday